All right, guys, I promise next time I'm bringing music. So as this stuff comes, we can like be jamming and getting our energy pumped up and stuff. I typically have it on and it just is what it is. I take responsibility. It didn't happen this time, but let's just there we go, Krista. Thank you. Yeah.
Oh, Krista.
All right,
You don't need no music.
play the game that there is music.
There is music in my head. I'm a living musical. Does anyone else do that? I can't even count if I had even $1 for how many times Chad tries to get his video camera out to catch me in time. It just is what it is. Thank you, Krista, for bringing the action. This
All right.
energy is freaking amazing.
We are not going live. I don't know what's going on.
You need to be registered and here, so that's what it is.
Nicole, maybe make a post in the groups and let them know that there won't be any live streaming. And we're recording. Let's go.
That's all that matters.
Yep.
All right, so guys, welcome to the Content to Client Bootcamp. So we have a lot of stuff, fun stuff mixed in for the next 4 days. We're diving deep and going into I'm so excited because we kind of switched things up in the last minute because I was feeling like, there's so many different challenges. There's so many different trainings out there. There's so many different things. And I genuinely honor your time and I honor our time. And I wanted to create something that was going to be so tangible, so transformative, and give you what you need to really tap into yourself and discover what it is that your soul clients are out for and that inner message within yourself that you shine out with your authenticity. And we can use AI to kind of enhance and bring everything together. So for the next 4 days, hang out with us. We have a lot of cool things. We're going to bring in some breath work. We're going to bring in some visualization. We're going to bring in some really different things. We got some surprises coming. So make sure, for the next 4 days from 6 to 7. And then if you're the VIP, we are going to be hanging out for a half an hour afterwards. So I'm going to hand it over to you.
Yeah, so I'm just really pumped. Who's actually got to mess around with AI and who is like, this is like new foreign territory for me. I'm just kind of get curious on where everybody is and what it is. And so the one thing that I would say is it's not a replacement for everything, right? It's not a replacement for you. It is a enhancer of you. It's a multiplier of you. It's it creates efficiency and productivity and effectiveness. Who's out to produce more with less work? Awesome. That's like, because if you can produce more, you can put you can attract more. When one of our mentors is like 4 pieces of content a day, and we're like, well, how do you do that? And then I literally played around with AI for like an hour, and I was like, oh, here you go, 4 a day. How about 10 a day? Like, this is easy.
You're a powerhouse.
You can literally produce so much more because the ideas just keep coming and keep coming and keep coming. I put all the on my website pages through it, and I love the results. Awesome, Pan.
Yeah. So what I've found is to really use AI in a way that it's all in the prompts, right?
Content that converts.
Yes. And it's not letting it do the work for you. Like, I love this conversation because there's so many different ways that you can go with it, but it's putting your message in. It's tapping into your soul and what your clients need. You guys each have your modality, your expertise, and what it is that you do. Yeah. And I have found where AI can do so much to help us out, to save us time, to be a huge resource for us, a great brainstorming friend. And I've also found like the essence of our work comes from here. And so how do we use AI and be at the forefront in the essence of our work, but using it as a tool? And that's what I really want to enhance. And my intention in my heart is it's always you first, your soul-led message. You guys are here for a purpose and a reason. Your expertise, you've gone through the studying, the trenches, and what it is that you do. I don't believe in the work of transformation. AI will ever take that away completely. And I think there's ways that we can use it. And if we can be at the forefront and the top of it and let it be a tool, I think, this is just the way that we're going. It
Mhm.
just is what it is. It's like when the TV came out, it's just is what it is. They're saying that within the next 5 years, every app that gets created will have some sort of AI element to it. So it's big to be on top of this and to learn about it, to experience it, and to, let it work for you.
Yep. So what I really want to do, I'm just curious here, who knows our story and how we've gotten started and like why we work with, I'm just getting a check in on like who's been on one of our trainings before and who has not. So yes, Sampan.
Great to
So
see you, by the
just
way.
check in the chat. Yes, if you've been on trainings, no, if you haven't been on anything yet. I want to do this in a way that really is effective. So, while ago, new, awesome. So there's some new people. We definitely want to um, make sure that they know exactly where we're coming from, right? That makes sense. So everybody else, if you've heard this before, just keep soaking it in because it's going to be amazing this time too. So this is the thing. Holly and I literally 3 years ago, 4 years ago now, wow, we're getting on some time here. 4 years ago, we're living in first my mom's maybe well we came
Okay,
together and she moved into my mom's house with me. I convinced her to move in, and then we started making enough money on this little agency that we had.
It was love when
Yeah. when you came on in, yeah. But then we started making enough money in this little agency and we are doing ads for solar and we started doing some funnels and different things. And we were like, you know what? We have enough money. Let's get out of here. And we weren't ready to like commit to anything. So we just went nomadic and we were like flopping around here and living in resorts and living in on the water.
Living the freedom lifestyle, laptop lifestyle. What you mean?
Yes.
Flopping around. It did turn into a
Well, we ran out of money, right? So and if you've ever like lived like a cool life and then all the money ran out,
it's not cool
it's
anymore.
not as cool anymore. So we end up moving in with our accountant, and our accountant was a good friend of ours, and she let us live there basically as long as we needed. And we're living in her grandson's, like if you think of like 13-year-old kid, like what that smells like, that's what we were living in a twin size bed, like the both of us, right? And then we were working in this little extra office that she had, and it was like across from each other, and I'm like, we got to do something different. And we end up going to this event, and this event completely changed our life. They said something in this event that it has never, it said like integrity is basically create your life, that it's not like a morality thing. It's not like if you're out of integrity, you're not out, like you're not wrong. You just, your life doesn't work anymore.
And integrity has nothing to do with morality or right or wrong, or good, bad, any of that. But integrity is your word and doing and honoring what you said you were going to do. And it's really like a spoke in your wheel, right? And any time that you are not your word, you lose a spoke, right? And if you lose, just like a wheel, if you have a wheel with no spokes, things start collapsing and they stop working. And that was really at a point where we were at, like, we better restore our integrity, like whatever that looks like.
So we made some phone calls and I was definitely out of integrity, right? I did a retreat at one point and I sold a bunch of sales. This was before Holly, sales funnels. I was always just hawking sales funnels. But with this resort, so basically I sold a retreat, and I showed up and all these people were supposed to come to this retreat and they completely bailed on me. And the people that were supposed to make the funnels like wouldn't make them for me, took my money and ran. And so I now owe all this money to these people. And at that time I was running from it. I'm like, I'll get to you guys when I get to you. And it was rough.
I didn't know any of this.
Yeah, she didn't know any of this. And I got into communication with every single one of them, and I said, hey, I have no money at this moment, but as soon as I have money, I will send you all your money back. And it was the craziest thing. A week later, we got a call from somebody who's like, I need a $2,000 funnel. Another person came up, $3,000 funnel. And then we got a call, the craziest call I've ever had in my life. This one of our friends was at an event, and she's like, hey, this person needs a sales funnel. Can you do it for $12,000? We're like, yeah, I think we can make that happen. And so we sold that, and then we had another $10,000 funnel, and all this. We ended up having almost $40,000 that month, all because just getting in communication.
And we literally didn't do anything different in our strategy. We didn't do any
integrity is out of alignment.
Integrity was out of alignment. That was literally it. And by the way, we paid back fully, high five, everyone from that event.
Yep. And this is the thing. It's like, we could have literally took the money and ran and was, oh, thanks guys. But what we learned was the reason we were blocked from really making the money is because we were out of integrity, because it creates a loss of power in your life. And so when we were able to get into those communication, it gave us our power back, so then we can go out and make money again. So awesome, Joanne. Come back for the replay.
Yes. So
moving forward, I'm moving these sales funnels along, and then all of a sudden, Holly's not only producing the funnels so we could get them to these clients, but she's also doing some other projects. And I remember walking into the room, and she was leaning into the wall, and all of a sudden she slid down the wall, and we didn't know what the hell happened, what was going on. And she started kind of convulsing. This is our first seizure. We never really talk about this. And we went to the hospital, and they asked her if we were on drugs, if she was on drugs. I remember that very clearly. And they basically said they couldn't do anything. They did a CAT scan. Exactly. So we come back, and we're like, the smart people would have been like, okay, let's stop everything. Let's go back to a stable place. And no, that's not what we did. We're entrepreneurs. We're entrepreneurs. It doesn't always look the way that it should to normal people. We go back to when we upgraded to a new beach front apartment, leaving our accountant's house. And we're working out all the holistic routes to solve the thing. And we're going through access consciousness, and we're going through meditation, and we're doing all the things to stop the seizures. And we end up getting invited to go sponsor an event in the process of this. And we go to this event, and these events can just change your life. Anybody going to an event that changed your life? Yeah. Yes. So it's in the normal world here, I'm having seizures. Yeah, let's go to an event that's across the country, in California. Absolutely, let's go. So we get to this event, and the guy says something that's just profound. To do what you love in the service of people that love what you do. Mm-hmm. And what we realized was that we had not been doing what we love in the service of people we did. We were doing funnels for everyone. We were doing these things for everyone. And we're talking knee pain doctors, hair restoration clinics. We had a publicist. We had a construction site. We had we did have a biohacking and a neuro performance coach, which we met at that event. And so we're looking at all of our clients. This was such a profound thing for us. And I'm clearly drained. So I'm I created a job out of my dream. What in the world?
right? And I knew that I needed a serious change. I was not passionate about writing copy for a knee pain doctor, although thank goodness, you know, if you have knee pain, thank you. Great people. I was not passionate about writing copy and doing projects for construction workers. But man, when that woman, she shared what she did and the gifts that she had and how she worked with people, I got this inner like, I want more of that. I want to give my gifts to people who are really out to make a difference with other people. That's what I want. How do I get more of that? And I don't want to waste my time with anything else but incredible people with big game, like just playing a big game. So
She was out to transform the world,
literally.
right? Who here is out to transform the world and really make a huge impact?
Yeah.
Awesome. So that's why we do what we do. You are why we serve, why we do what we do. We are here to expand your reach and help you make a bigger impact. That's why we're doing this event.
Yeah.
We're here because if this event makes a difference in you and the way you show up and the fact being able to attract one more client just from this a free event, like that means everything to us.
Let's just set that intention.
Yeah, let's set this intention. Who's out to get a client on this event next 4 days?
Let's do it. Yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
I love it.
So now, unfortunately, you know, we went to this event. We got this big, huge breakthrough. Holy smokes. We are only going to serve the people who are out to do big things in the world. That's it, right? The seizures didn't stop. They kept going, right? And kept going, and they got worse and worse until one day I was back. We were back at his mom's house. It was actually his birthday. He went out for his birthday. And I had a seizure that I don't know how long it lasted, to be honest. I'm actually let you take over because I wasn't really there. I just hear the story just like you guys.
So I came in and I remember seeing her convulge, but like usually I can help snap her out of it, right? It's like help pull her out of the seizure and help her come out, give her mouth to mouth, throw some electrolytes in her mouth, throw some CBD down her throat, whatever it takes to get that happen. So but she'd been going for a while. So I did all that, wasn't working, finally came out of it. And she looked at me and she said, "Where am I? And who are you?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" And she had a complete reset of memory, like from scratch. Didn't know who I was, didn't know who she was, didn't know she had kids, nothing.
So what had happened is the pons region in your brain is where you hold all of your memories and stuff. And that was a part that was being affected by these seizures. So scientifically, that's what was happening. So we went on this intense, I'm going to kind of speed this up just so you get how things got developed for us. We went on this intense journey of functional holistic medicine. I worked with a functional neurologist. I learned all sorts of ways through the brain and healing the brain and the nervous system and how to bring the nervous system back into the body. And just that could be a whole other thing in itself. And as I started coming back, we created something. It was like a champion training for me. It was retraining my brain. It was training my subconscious mind into, you know, I don't even want to say a new way of being, because the one thing I do remember and I do know, and it was really interesting, like I actually thought, like the only thing that I knew during this time is that I was here for a reason. There was a time I even thought that maybe I was here from on another planet, like to help humanity. Like that was the only thing that I knew, is that I am here to make a difference and make a contribution to the human race. Like it was the craziest thing. So as I was healing, we were going through this champion training, and I was going back and I was looking to see like, all right, we've worked with all of these clients and some of them were getting results, some of them weren't getting results. You know, I was online and I had my own success story before I was with Chad. Chad had his own event and his own thing. So I was just like reading and looking at stories and looking at data. I had no stories attached to anything except for the what so in front of me. And I started to see patterns in everything. Is there anyone else here that are pattern people? I started seeing patterns in the way that things were done and what we did that brought people success. And when we didn't have these things, people didn't have the success that they needed. And it's how we created our entire model. So everything is working out for us. The entire purpose of sharing that story with you is not to be like, holy shit, girl. Like, it's actually to see what you're about to learn and discover. This is not like a copy and paste kind of thing. This has been through years of trench work, of discovering what works, what hasn't worked, and really what it takes to build a successful online coaching business. So without further ado.
So who wants to see the model that Holly was able to come up with when she was able to look at, okay, one client did 138K worth of sales in 6 weeks. Another one didn't get any results. Another one sold out his program before he even launched it. And another one, wasn't able to follow the process. Who wants to see like what she able to came up with and see like what process actually worked when they followed this?
And we're going to bring the AI too, because I want to make sure that we follow on our word. The AI is coming. And when you have the foundations, this is the thing with AI. When you have the foundations and the basis, just like all of your modalities and things that you do with your clients, it's bringing in the prompts, right? So when you know the things, the foundations, the basics of what it is that you need, and then you can use AI to come in and start filling in the gaps. It's a gap filler.
Definitely. All right. So
just wanted to add that in.
Let's show the model, and then we're going to get into how to use ChatGPT and some foundation stuff that you guys can do kind of as homework.
Oh, yes, this is a boot camp. We have homework, but I promise the homework that we give is going to move you ahead. It's all for you. It has nothing to do with us.
Yep. All right.
So ultimately what we found, and maybe you can agree, is really at the core of everything that we're doing here is really to live this life of abundance, right? Out to have it all. Is anyone else out to have it all? I know that that's what I'm out for, right? And it's more than just the money. It's the freedom. It's having the impact, making a difference in the world. And it is the income. It's like, how can we have it all and live this life of abundance?
Yeah, who is out to make more money so you can make a bigger contribution in the world?
Sweet. Yes. So now in order to do that, there's a few things that you need to do online. Number one is to attract your people, right? So we're going to talk about attraction. We're going to talk about enroll, because you can attract all the people. If you don't have the enrollment process, it's not going to matter. And third, the transformation. Ultimately, this journey of abundance is really about the being, like who do you be and who are you becoming? And having this transformation, your business will only grow as far as you, right? And I know I'm preaching to the choir. You guys are all about it. It's what you live for. So in order to attract, we're kind of fly through this real quick. This isn't the main focus, but I want you guys to get the basis and the foundations of what it is that you really need. So in order to attract, you're going to need messaging. We call it impact messaging because when it makes a difference with people, that's ultimately what this is all about, coming from a heart-led space, building a community, having content that converts to clients. Once you start building that audience and you're attracting those people, it's enrolling them, having them in this evergreen signature program. How can you create a program that allows people to come in, gives you freedom, gives them a super deep transformation. No one feels like a number, and it can provide a really powerful outcome for your clients. Having an empowered client attraction pathway. So how do you get people who are no idea who you are and then bring them through this process to ultimately discovering that you're the person who can really make a difference for them. And then ultimately delivering. We started with integrity. That's interesting. We never really shared that story to start off with, but I love it. That it's ultimately being your word and delivering on what you said and doing it in a way where your clients get the success that you promised them. Now, the transformation that it takes to put this all together within yourself, it takes a few things. First things first is knowing what it is that's going to move the needle for you. What are those income producing activities that you get to stay consistent in and day out that's going to bring in that momentum, right? The momentum building. It's the blind spots and the alignment. It's being aligned with who you are at a soul level and walking in your fullness, and the things that have stopped you in your past, that we can cut and rewire those stories and create a powerful future. And when blind spots and these triggers and things that come up as you grow your business, because I promise you they come up, that you have tools to be able to access and clear those quickly, and to be able to have leverage in your business. You start creating leverage assets, using tools to be able to save time for you and to be able to allow you to scale up. This could be building your list, or having a lead magnet, or even a Calendly. Gone are the days when you're like, well, 2 o'clock this day works good for me. Does that work for you? No, I have this time, but no, nobody has time for that. There are so many tools, especially with AI coming out now as well, of using AI and all the other tools that are out there. I found an AI tool that is like ChatGPT and Canva, and you can put them together where it can create your marketing copy and stuff. It's crazy, right? That's what I did too. So there's so many different tools and stuff to be able to leverage. It then becomes what's the best tool to use to save you time, because you can actually get lost in all of the tools and stuff too.
Yes.
So
there's a lot of them.
There's a lot. Yeah.
Awesome. So everybody got the model. If you want to quickly maybe screenshot it so you have it, or maybe you've been drawing it, whatever, because we're going to be going back to it. We're going to be on this bootcamp where we're going to be really focusing on one area over here, niching, and then
getting your messaging
and content. So that's pretty much where we're going to be touching, and then all this other stuff will just kind of be for another training, or if you need support on all this stuff, right? Actually, it's a good idea. So if you're watching this and you're like, hey, I know I need you guys right now, can we skip to the good parts where you guys are giving me all the good things? Go ahead, Eston, if you want to go ahead and drop the link for them to book a call with our clarity coach, and they'll do a call, basically make sure it's a good fit, make sure it's aligned for you. And then if you're watching this on a replay, there'll be like a button down there with a calendar. Just go ahead and pick a time and show up for and then fill out the questions and then go with that. It should open up in a new tab, so you can come back and complete watching. So cool. All right, moving on.
All right, so moving on. Can you go to the notes?
Yes.
Thank you.
We have like 5 notes here. So do you want to talk about like how you were able to, you kind of use some of your hesitations around AI?
Yeah, so I want to loop back in. You saw the whole groundwork and the foundations of everything. And I think when new things come up, I think I tapped into what grandma must have been feeling when TV came out.
The rate.
When AI, like when I first heard that this
TV
was even
is colored.
Thing, and like what it was capable of, like my first instincts were like, oh, I don't really know about this. This can be really dangerous. Like, I think a lot of people can use this, and like, I'm sure some of those things ran in your head too. And I wanted to bring it up because I know if it went through my brain, it had to have gone through some of yours too.
I'm curious, did anybody have any like, oh, I'm not sure about AI, or I'm not like, well, we got one right here. She doesn't feel like AI could make good content in her niche.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we probably didn't either. So it's like, you wouldn't think how intricate it can get, right? But it's like, if you just let it be really broad and you don't give it good prompts, the content's can completely suck ass, right? Mm-hmm. But like, if you can prompt it in a effective way, it can be way better than anything you like I can create. I don't know about you guys, right? So I've got a really specific niche, and it's been very helpful. Yeah, it's actually, the more specific your niche is, it actually is the better.
Yeah, or if you have like a lot of different things, like finding the umbrella and tying it together to get more specific around something or bridging something.
Yeah, that's
It's
actually
really, really helpful. I want to kind of go back real quick, like that
Mhm.
hesitation that I had at first. It was a legit thing. I didn't even want to touch it for a bit, but then I did, and I opened up an account. We're going to go through if you haven't for whatever reason, and I started playing with it. And the more, just like you said, like the more I got into the different prompts and the more I got into my message and what I like was in my heart and just let that flow out in the prompts and just see like what was the boundaries here. That's when I really discovered like, oh, AI isn't replacing the message. The message has to come from here because there's an energetics that gets infused with every piece of content that you create. And that's how people like attract to you. So if you're just using just straight blank AI, people will know it. It will feel empty, right? Your energetics, that's why we talk about the energetics and the strategy all the time. It's kind of the synergy that we bring together is your energetics definitely need to be within this. So where I had a hesitation at first, the more I started using it, I actually like it because like to brainstorm with it because it doesn't have the energetics of everybody else, right? You go online and you look at other people's content and what other people are saying, and it can almost like cloud stuff up here. And if you're really sensitive to energy, and I think I even just seeing the lineup here, I know I got a few of y'all on here that are very sensitive to energy, that even looking and being on social media and scrolling through can sometimes get a little exhausting for us. So I've liked it in the fact of I can brainstorm and shoot out ideas and have it create different things for me and then take those pieces and bring them together, and I don't have that energy of everyone else.
Jessica brought up tarot cards. Holly actually had it do
share.
Yeah, go for it.
No, go ahead.
So
Let me read it first.
Holly had it do a whole tarot reading.
I told it to pretend. I got a shout out to my bestie Afia because it was her idea to do this and I totally followed through with it. So I told it to pretend it was a psychic tarot Cleo. You guys remember her? The very flamboyant psychic reader. I told her to pretend to be a psychic tarot Cleo, and I gave her the card. So I just did a card pull myself, and I put the cards in there and I said, give me a full reading based on these cards. And it gave me a full it's like, okay. So I had three angel cards and then 3 tarot cards. And it like knew, and it put them together in this like really intense reading. I'm like, wow, okay. And then I asked it, can you give me some journal prompts to get through this? And so then it gave me some journal prompts based on my reading. And I was able to go through and work through the reading and unlock and discover some things. So yes, you can use this for not just creating your content, but for tapping into your creativity and your inner self. And I see a lot of people having fear that it's going to take away creativity. And how I see it is it's transforming creativity. You now get to be creative in what you put in, and it's expanding the way that we think and create than we've ever been before. So
yeah, so Ash, absolutely. Brick and mortar is actually easier, I would say, because it's very usually straightforward of the results that it's going to get, and you have a pretty clear offer. It's actually harder for all the other people because the messaging and getting clear on who it's for and all that stuff that work needs to be done first, which that's why we're having this boot camp. And so for float tanks, very easy.
I feel like I've been creative blocked, both AI, I'm expanding again.
Yeah. So cool. So let's get in and so we actually had a client, Brett. I don't know if he's here, but he did when he came into the program, he was working through his niche and he wasn't really sure who he was going to be serving. And I remember as soon as he kind of chose which way he was going with his niche, we went to ChatGPT. He does this, this, and this for couples, and create a program with, he was a hypnotist and he does all of this stuff, right? And he wanted to do group, and he wanted to have a all this stuff. And he just threw it in there, and it literally spit out an offer in a program. And 2 days later, he sold it for $10,000. He sold that offer for $10,000.
But again, it took his expertise. He typed in who it was for, what he was doing, the expertise that he brought, the results that he gave to people. So it's like you have the things and you just bring it in and let it help you.
Yeah, Lori, it spit out a detailed offer, and I just threw it in a Google Doc for him, and boom, he went out and sold it. And he literally just he used our sales process where they sell you to be a part of the program. And then at the end, they're like, well, tell me about the program. And he just read from the doc, and they're like, hell yeah, I'm in. And they in over several payments over about a week, paid him $10,000. So high five.
That's freaking amazing.
I know.
Right. High five.
High five. So who wants to kind of get into and play with this and just kind of see how this works? And we can show you how we've done it for some of our clients, how we've done it for ourselves. Maybe you'll recognize some emails that I send, you know, that type of stuff. Actually, we're on your computer. So
I know, I'm like, not on mine. So the cool thing about ChatGPT, are you going to, before we get going, are you going to show them how to log in? Are you completely new to ChatGPT? If this is the first time you've ever heard of it,
yeah, let's do that.
It's a free open source. It's all right here.
Okay, cool.
Right there.
So do you want to show like how to get there, like just from the scratch? So yeah, I would like to just fully walk everybody through. I will say, so at one point in time, it was, so this is if you're logged in. So
you'll have to create an account. I don't even know if you can because I'm logged in.
Oh, okay.
So it's just cookie
so I'll just
so literally
log it. Okay, so you go to
create an account.
just Google chat, or just put in chat.openai.com.
Here, let's make this a little bit bigger.
Yeah, that would probably make sense.
I'm one of those. I have 99 tabs on 3 different windows, and it all makes sense to me.
Yes. All right, so let's look at some client things so this is one of our clients and our support coach.
So I will say, so after you log in, so you'll create an account, and this is what you'll see. It's literally, this is that simple. You type in a prompt. So when I first came on here, I started kind of messing around with different meditations. I actually asked it to write I wanted to see its boundaries. So I asked it to write a sermon around money. It's one of the first things that I had it type in. I just wanted to see like what its capabilities were. And then I typed in, like, I just played around with it. So the thing that I really like about this is it will save your conversations. So all of the conversations and the prompts that you start adding in are over here on the left side of, whatever is on the left side of your screen. So you can start kind of compartmentalizing each conversation that you have. So if you go back, you can always go back to that I call them conversations. I guess that's what they are. But ultimately, that's what it is. It's like you're having let's say that the conversation AI is ultimately will start having a conversation with you. So if you want to put in, I don't know what it is you had, or if you want,
when we throw something out, is your offer do it for us, because I'm siloed with exhausted of do many things right now by myself. That's rough.
It's a 4 with.
Is it to do with you?
Ultimately, because it's your heart and your program and your expertise, and nobody can quite give that except for you. However, we are definitely there guiding and supporting and giving you tools as we do we do it together.
So Lori, why don't you give me a little bit of rundown of who your ideal client is and what result you help them get and that type of thing.
Boom, live in action.
And
this is what it can be. I know there's a little bit of a delay.
Yes.
While she does that.
Yeah, we'll just talk about Frederick's real quick. So this is one of our clients. Is he works with like high level entrepreneurs. Nicole, if there's somebody unmuted, if you can make sure that they're muted. So this is a year program. So as a digital marketing consultant, I understand the needs of high level
Hold on,
entrepreneurs.
let's go to the prompt real quick. Okay. This is what's important.
Yes.
Right. It's always the prompts that are important. So develop a program that is attractive to high level entrepreneurs who are making 10 to 50K plus a month that allows them to keep the business they've created without getting complacent. So he knew a few things before he went to ChatGPT. Well, we did, right? We did this together. We knew who his people were. He knew what their problems were. The problems are making 10 to 50K a month, doing the same thing. It's getting complacent. It's not growing, right? And so what he does is he helps them lean into their potential and ultimately make them more money and create a year-long program with a combination of group calls, mastermind element, along with one-on-one. Create a structure and outline for this while you pretend to be a digital marketing expert consultant. That's a key here. Right, so you get to be really creative. You can tell AI to pretend to be something. I asked it to pretend to be a psychic reader to give me a tarot reading. So pretend to be a digital marketing expert consultant or whatever it is that you need to, right? So that's exactly what it did. As a digital marketing expert consultant, I understand the needs of high-level entrepreneurs who are making 10 to 50K plus a month. These entrepreneurs often struggle with complacency and reaching their full potential, which can hinder their ability to make even more money. To address these issues, I suggest a one-year program that combines group calls, a mastermind element, and one-on-one coaching sessions. Here's a structure and outline for this program. And then it brought it down into phases. It brought into what to be working on, and it's left open enough that he can now go in here and start filling the gaps for himself and putting in his element and his stuff. It is so important to keep you in this. Don't let
and keep editing it, right?
Absolutely, right? So we actually have one for QI or for quantum impact that's pretty long. So then I'm like, we started doing this. We got a little sideswiped. But then now that we have like the messaging, it has their people and all of that. Give me a good tagline messaging around this. Sure, here's potential tagline. That I wasn't a big fan of. Like, nah, that sounds pretty normal. I need this to stand out and be more catchy, right? Because that's what we need to do. So if you can see, like, you're starting to have a conversation with it. If you don't like what it's doing, tell it to stop and go tell it what you want it to do. This sounds normal, sure. Don't get stuck in the status quo. I'm still not a fan. I stopped doing it. Our session we're working on it. Yeah. But the purpose of showing you this is kind of giving you an idea of you start having a conversation with it. It's a little weird at first. I ain't gonna lie. That the first time I like had a session with ChatGPT and like brainstorming, I was like, you have been so helpful for me. Thank you so much. Like here I am telling AI to like, thank you.
Okay, so a couple of things I want to do here. So Lori talked about, Lori, are you open to a little bit of critiques on your messaging? I'm going to just start going into just a little bit of training. Okay, cool. All right, so we have a framework called the cake method. Everybody cool if I go off the AI stuff and just talk about some things you need to understand about messaging and really creating all this stuff before you really get into AI?
If you don't understand the underneath it all, then you're just going to get a bunch of blank and
I just need some hands generic. Here. Okay, cool.
I like doing the wave.
I'm always looking for Pan's hand. I don't know, like he's really good at this. You're the framework here for the all right. So this is our cake methodology, and the idea is
this is like a Roblox cake.
A Roblox. Minecraft.
Yeah, it's like a 2D cake.
Are we talking? Yes. Okay. I don't think they're 12, so they might not get that. Or maybe they have kids. I don't know. So, all right. This is the thing. We understand you guys are really smart. Everybody here is pretty intelligent and understand a lot of things, right? Like you're very educated on what you do, correct? Can we just kind of count that? And your ideal client probably not as educated as you are. Would everybody agree here? Okay, cool. So my thing to Lori would be is that her ideal client might not know that they need to network as a thing, but they do need customers or clients or whatever, depending if they're a service-based entrepreneur, a business owner, or a
spiritual entrepreneur, is that what it was?
A spiritual business owner.
I know. I need to go to the eye doctor. I'm like, I apologize.
We get that one the
yes.
content did.
Yep.
Okay, so this is the thing that might be a couple layers of awareness down, right? So they might what's keeping them up at night is not like, oh, I really need to get out there and network with more people, because I need that for my business. What they're thinking is, oh, I need to increase my amount of sales so that I can grow my business. So some of you guys would consider yourself a spiritual business owner. Anybody in that realm of things? Cool. So would you say, oh, I really need to network more? And that's like your thing that's like keeping you, like your struggle in that realm. Cool. So in that, yeah, of course. So this is the thing is what we need to do is we need to get in the world of what is actually keeping people up at night and they're actually aware of, right? What are they aware of? What is their aspirations? What's getting them up in the morning that has them motivated to actually keep doing their business, right? Why do they keep doing this? Those are the things we need to speak to. So it's like, okay, because it's like the fears and frustrations and the things that they're aware of. So it wouldn't be like networking. It'd be like how to increase my business, how to like getting more granular, because the clearer you can get on that niche, the more specific. So if you work with service-based clients, it's like, okay, how do I get more clients? How do I get in front of more clients? How do I trauma resolution? Okay, so how do I attract more people that have trauma? But that's a similar one too. How do you pronounce your name? Is it Jani? I just want to make sure that I get that correct. Like, give me a right out there. So for trauma, most of the people that that have trauma are not usually ready to move through it.
Or they're not aware that they even have
or they're
trauma,
not aware that they have it.
Trauma is actually having the effect on their everyday life. Like, oh no, I have anxiety. Like everyone has anxiety. No, actually. Right, but
yeah,
I think another thing to keep into consideration too is it's just like when you meet someone for the first time. First time you meet someone, it's a hi, how are you? You have a great smile, you're friendly, you share something valuable, and it's a different type of conversation when you first meet someone as opposed to you've been around for a while. Like I know Chad, I'm like, hey, what's going on? And how are you? Right. And that's like a different, we were in a different level of a conversation, and then a hot conversation. Well, here we are married, right? So it's the same when you're online and you're building this audience is what is that cold, that top layer, this cake part of what they know that they need, right? And when you're creating your content on your like online and it's creating to
gosh, get in the corner, ready to turn. That is not a tractor trailer.
Mute everybody. There you go. So you want to speak to your cold market, those people who don't know who you are, a little bit differently and speaking directly to what it is they're out for. I even find in the cold message is speaking more to what it is that they're out for in life rather than their problems and challenges. Can be really effective because everybody wants to talk about what they're up to in the world. And yeah, I'm doing this and this and this and this. And you're like, yeah, sweet. That's amazing. And then you can find, go a little bit deeper from there, right? So it's, what are you typing out?
Just keep talking.
Okay, so it's creating content in a way that is first meeting like this, I don't want to say surface level, but kind of. I think that's really the struggle and where we can bring AI and helping us discover what some of these surface level problems are, because as coaches, we go deep and we go fast, right? Like, oh, you have anxiety. That's the root of your childhood when you were around 3, right? Like that's just where our brain naturally goes. We know the process of what our past creates our future and how transformation works. Like that's the expertise that we have. So when creating content, if you go too deep, too fast, it well, it's kind of like going into, I don't know, say it, like I feel like you say it better, but like going to a bar and just like a guy, go ahead, say it.
Nah,
it's not
so
me.
it's the idea of like going to a bar and taking a girl or guy to the bathroom, right? If
It's
you're
like-
going too fast, like you're going to push them away. You want to kind of really build this relationship and build a rapport with them. And the best way to do that is to show that you can actually help them, right? And building it. So that's the best way. So Lori, I'm curious if this so unlock the power of your universe for your business, how spiritual practice can super no so this is that's why you need to be more specific, right? So what's the results that you help them get? You help them be able to network. What does that help them do? So no they
and this is getting that cold
want
message.
to attract more clients. I help them do that. There we go. So now you can say my inner so it's, discover a deeper connection. How do our business services can help you attract clarity and purpose? So it's still a little confused on who I am. And so, no, I help spiritual business owners.
So the more clear you are,
Mm-hmm.
the more powerful it is for ChatGPT to be able to give you the results that you're looking for. I like putting in, like he's putting, bringing in hooks. So when you can have even just the hook, right? If it can give you an idea of give me a starter sentence or give me a hook for this one thing. And then, okay, maybe you don't go word for word, but oh, aligning your business to your higher purpose. I could talk about that. Let's go. Right. And then you can either write a post about it or you go live or you do a video or something like that. So it's a great idea to get the juices flowing and then go turn on a camera and let your expertise shine out. Let this be a tool for you.
Does that make sense? Does everybody get understanding like why it's so important to understand everything else? Like all the
model that we showed you.
Yeah, getting clear on that messaging so that you can feed it in here. Feel your growth with spirituality, how our business coaching can help you scale your spiritual business. That might be able to tweak that a little, mastering the art of spiritual entrepreneurship, secrets to building a thriving business while staying true to your values. Actually, that one's pretty good.
Ooh, the intersection of spirituality and business, how to use your spiritual practice to build a successful, I don't know about enterprise, but so you can grab some of these and take the rest. If you don't like these, you can say,
give me 5 more.
Give me 5 more catchy, more unique. I need more pizzazz. Go deeper.
I need pizzazz.
Which is actually, this is going to be your homework tonight, is if you do not have a chat or a ChatGPT account yet, your assignment tonight is to go get one. So you're going to get an account, you're going to log in, and you're going to start just playing. I want you to put in your clients. I want you to, what it is that you do for them, ask it. You can even ask it, like, what are some of the things that these people are searching for online, right? And it can give you some possibilities of what they're searching for. Awesome. Can you help me with 10 hooks that I could use for an audience that doesn't know who I am yet, for my cold audience? And then see what comes up. So your job tonight, your homework assignment is to go test the boundaries and see if you can break this thing.
Yep. And if you are somebody that's just like, I need support with all this, go ahead and book the call. I'll drop the link. Also, we're going to be staying after with our VIP people. I'm going to drop the link for that. So if you want to just go grab VIP, does it save your conversations on the free account?
Yes.
We only have the free account so far, so we haven't upgraded. We haven't seen the need to.
I will say that there's been one time like it didn't load and I was like, ah, but then I refreshed it about an hour or two later and it was all there again. I'm like, okay, sweet. So yeah, we're still on the free account. I literally have it just open all the time. I've never had any problems with it not being available or nothing. So we haven't upgraded.
Yeah. So yeah, if you want to stay late for the VIP and get the so you're going to stay late every day and we're get to work specifically on your business. If you're a client currently, feel free to stay. Also, if you're somebody that wants to support around all this, go ahead and book a call and you'll jump on with Nicole, kind of see if it's a good fit, make sure it's aligned, and then she'll schedule a call with me and we'll go super deep on your business. And
yes, awesome. I appreciate you guys. Go do your homework. I know you're probably itching to go play into ChatGPT, so go play. Bring back your results tomorrow. I honor and appreciate you, and we will see you guys tomorrow. If you're a VIP, stick around. We'll let everyone else kind of filter out, and it is your turn. So bye, guys.
We're gonna meet for VIP people. We're gonna mute and just take 5 and then come back. All right, so
We're back.
we're back.
Okay.
If you haven't grabbed VIP yet, go ahead and grab VIP. We'll be getting started here in a minute.
Hey, Chad, will you stop the recording and then start it again?
Yes,
Good.
that's a good idea.